Hey, Shalom, Shalom. This is your brother Yeshamai from the GMS Atlanta camp. Before I get into this message, I want to start off by giving all praises, all glory, and all honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham Rakadash, and I want to send double honors to the elders and the apostles. A great millstone who will teach well. This is going to be a short message inspired by camp today. Today we went into the wickedness of Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. Self-proclaimed because he named himself that. Self-proclaimed because that's not who he is. He is Esau Edom according to Genesis 25. You go into Genesis 25 and you see that there were two brothers born. One came out red, which is Esau Edom. And then you further on, you go into Genesis 27 and you see that Esau Edom was blessed with the sword. Now that sword is an example of weaponry. Now, what country has the biggest sword? What country was put on the world stage because of the biggest sword? It goes back to America. America was put on the stage and continued to rule the world because of its sword. And that sword specifically comes down to the bomb dropped on Nagasaki, on Hiroshima. Two bombs, actually. Now, who rules the world because of that weaponry? America. So then we link that up with Esau Edom's blessing, Genesis 27. We link that up with Revelation, the whore that sits on many waters. You know, who has the most military bases? I believe it's like 197, 160 military bases throughout the world. Esau Edom. Okay, so what we went into in camp today was salvation. Now, I know I've probably done a lesson on this in the past because when when we first hear about the truth, we're coming out of a lie, right? Because for you to have the truth, you must have a lie. Now, what is the lie that we came out of? Well, the lie that we came out of was that salvation was for everyone. The lie that we came out of was Christianity. And what does Christianity tell us? Christianity tells us that the law is done away with. Christianity tells us that Jesus, quotation marks, is looking for anyone that repents. But that's not what the scripture says. You see, what are we waiting for? What does scripture say that we are waiting for? And now, when I say that we are waiting for, I use we loosely because we is where Christians try to throw themselves in. See, when I ask the question, what are we waiting for? This is where Christians throw themselves in and say, oh, well, we are waiting for salvation. Okay, well, this is salvation right here. This is the etymology of salvation. To deliver from some danger, rescue from peril, to bring to safety. Okay, so when you read the definition of save, because it's synonymous with salvation, right? Originally, in the Christian sense, the saving of the soul, deliverance from the power of sin, and admission to eternal bliss. So, for you to be saved means that you have to be taken out of somewhere. For you to be saved means that you have to be under the rulership or under the danger of someone else. So what group of people is under the most danger? See, Christianity will have you believe that salvation is for everyone. Well, wait a minute. Are the so-called Ish people, the Amalekites, who are they being saved from? Because they have the world right now. They own the pharmaceutical companies, they own the TV stations, they own the music, they own America. Really, you look at the Secretary of Defense, what nationality is he? So who are they being saved from? They're not being saved from anyone because they are the ones inflicting damage. So then, I guess the question goes back then, who needs salvation? Who is the most oppressed? Well, the most oppressed are the so-called natives, the so-called blacks, and the so-called Hispanics. Who has been oppressed? Let's get scripture on this. See, because this is what Exodus 21 and 16 says, He that stealeth a man and sells him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. Now, who stole? What nation, what group of people comes to mind when you read this verse? Well, the correct answer would be the self-proclaimed white man. Because when you go into the word hand, the word is yah. You see, first off, let's go back to this one scripture because this video is based on one scripture. Let me keep it very simple. This video is based on one scripture. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. This scripture alone encapsulates all. First of all, it encapsulates the wicked, which is a self-proclaimed white man, and it encapsulates the heathen nation. Who stole us? Specifically, who is the apple of the Most High's eye? Israel. Now, did not the self-proclaimed white man steal the so-called Africans, the so-called blacks, and sell them into slavery? Yeah. Okay, so then that means that whoever steals a man shall be put to death. This is the scriptures. This isn't me telling you this. This is the scriptures. So, bam, we just knocked that one out the park because everyone knows that the biggest thief is a self-proclaimed white man. The thief cometh but to steal, kill, and destroy. Who does that line up with? Lines up with the self-proclaimed white man, Esau Edom. But furthermore, I want to go into the other group of people here. Or if he, now we know he is Israel, because according to Deuteronomy 28, where he lays out the curses, we were supposed to be sold and no man will buy it. The only man that will buy it is Yahweh Shai. And the buying comes through the destruction of others. Right? So we know that we were supposed to go into captivity, but that captivity was first and foremost, under the hand of the wicked, Esau Edom. But that captivity also includes the other nations. You see, when you go into that word, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. See, people think that right now, oh, well, we're not in slavery. Why? Because what's slavery in your mind? Well, slavery in your mind is, the transatlantic slave trade. Slavery in your mind is fountains for blacks, fountains for whites. Slavery in your mind is the front seat of the bus, the back seat of the bus. So you think that you're not in slavery. Well, you know what? You're not in physical slavery, but you're sold into it, right? Because are you over anyone? Does Psalms not say that we are gods? But that's a whole different message that I'm working on. I want to stick to this, and this is where we're going to close out because I want this message to be short. Or if he, now he is talking about Israel, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. So we already know that the wicked is a self-proclaimed white man that stole us. Now, whose hand are we in? When you go and you get an apartment to rent, whose hand are you under? When you go and you pump gas, when you put gas in your vehicle, now what's your vehicle? Your vehicle is what drives you, right? It's what gets you to work. It's what gets you your food. Without your vehicle, without your way of traveling, you would die. Okay? Who owns the gas that you pump? Who owns the alcohol that you drink? Who owns the ingredients that are shipped out from those third countries which we abhor? Those third countries which cook with their armpits and their feet. Those disgusting heathens. Who does that? Well, when you go into that word, hand, it's Yah. Well, what does hand mean? This is the blue letter. Hand means the strength. Hand means the side. Hand means the part, the fractional. Oh shoot, Salakia. The support. Well, no. The part that I'm trying to get here is the strength. See, the scripture says that when Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai comes back and he finds us in the strength of another man, well, what is the strength of another man? Commerce, right? We don't own gas stations. We don't own ingredients. We are under, our survival is based upon the hand of another man. You cannot survive unless you have gas. You cannot survive unless you have ingredients. You cannot survive unless you're provided certain, and I say this in quotation marks, certain freedoms that are under the eye of other groups of nations. See, not only have we been stolen by the wicked, but we're under the hand of the heathens. This message, the aim of this message with this one scripture with this one scripture and with basic vision of what life is. This message is to show you that not only is the wicked doomed for destruction, but this shows you that there are heathen nations that are also doomed for destruction. Now, I'm going to finish it up with one of my favorite scriptures, Isaiah. Isaiah 14 and 1. For the Most High, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. He's talking about both the northern and the southern kingdom. And set them in their own land. He's talking about Jerusalem, that place that's inhabited by the bastard. This also goes into the controversy of Zion. And set them in their own land, right? Because we're not in our own land. We're in a foreign country. And strangers shall be joined with them. Talking about the other Gentiles, right? Strangers shall be joined with them. And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them. What people? Jacob and Israel. All right? The so-called blacks, natives, and Hispanics. The people shall take them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them. Salakia, this is in transit. Shall possess them in the land of the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahushai for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So now we circle that back with the verse we just read in Exodus. We were stolen by the wicked, but at the same time, we were captives under those who had control of the hotels, who had control of the food, who had control of the vehicles, and we're going to rule over them. So look, Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, is going into destruction, but the heathens are also going into judgment. You're not free. You all have had a hand. And you see right now, while we're going through this time of, we see Amalek bombing the so-called Palestinians. They want everyone to jump on board. Well, where were you when the apple of the Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai's eye was in derision? Where were you when we were captives? You were nowhere to be found. You were not free because now you are over us. You are licking our wounds. And so, anyways, salvation means that you are being saved from evil. Who is being ruled over? Who was stolen? Who is being held captive according to these lease agreements? Yasharallah, so-called blacks, natives, and Hispanics. Hope this lesson has been edifying. With that, I say shalom.